Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about Townstar, but really it's about Citadel of the Wind's visualizer, okay? So if you go to Citadel of the Wind, you notice they have some stuff for Miranda and whatnot, but we are interested in the Townstar visualizer. So if you can see right here, I'm going over here and I'm going to, you can read all that, I'm not sure, I haven't really read it, and then click on the bottom there and the visualizer. Okay, once you get here, you can choose forest, plains, or desert. Empty just gives you a blank slate. Forest, plains, or desert, and then it gives you a choice of north, south, east, west. Okay, the way you could do it is if you have something already picked out, well then you could just match it up to that. Otherwise, if you once you go and you pick your spot that you have, I've just created this spot that is, you can see it's way up here. Now, if I wanted to do the events they're having this week, the ocean would be good for the salt, and then the river is good for watering crops, okay, or livestock. Okay, and so, and here's the thing: if you get an ocean like this, if you have your salt here, then the next two rows aren't really that good for salt, and they're not really that good for crops. So your livestock, the salt doesn't bother that. So, or at least I say some things, and then like until just this past week, sheep were not affected by pollution from industrial type buildings, but now they are. They're not affected by pollution from farm buildings or ranch buildings, but they are from industrial buildings. And I'm not just talking about power plants and fuel making buildings and whatnot. I'm talking about like a fabric plant will pollute a sheep pen. But anyway, back to the discussion at hand. What you can do is, now that I've found this, okay, I'm looking at it, and I'm from the road, I can see that on the right hand side we've got that S-type pond shape, and then just sprinkled around a few other ponds. Now, if I go back to this visualizer, we can see that if I'm looking at the road, the pond is kind of on the left over here, and we're expecting to have it on the right. So let's look at south, and if I'm looking at the road, I don't think I can turn this, but if I'm looking at the road, then this would, if I had it in the same perspective as this other, then this would be in the right spot. So that's how I've decided. Somebody else might have a better way to know which is which, but I don't. But you can see you've got 4 different choices on the maps. And one thing you might want to also think about is, it looks like, let's see, this would be 3, 6, 9, 10 ponds that we could get rid of. And let me see if it's the same on all of them. Maybe it is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 9 on that one if you left the 1. So see, this west has one more pond, if I'm looking at this correctly, than that one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total. Okay, so the map that you choose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, has to do either that west one is wrong, or it has one more water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Look at that. This one has 14, the north. So if you're going to pick a desert location, it would make the most sense to do a north one. Now, I can't tell you which ones are the north ones, but I just experiment. It's like if I think, well, it makes sense if I go back to the world, and I'm like, let's get rid of this right here, and see if we can tell. And if this is boring to you guys, if you're watching this and it's like, you know what, I already know all the details about how to do it, just skip ahead. I don't know how to put those bookmarks in the videos so that people can, really just skip ahead like that. But what we can do is, like, say we wanted to get over here, and honestly, I don't think that these ones are even the same. Like, I don't think on this side of the river it's the same as the other side, but we can find that out. Let's see. Okay, so this one, oh goodness. Let me, I'm sorry guys. I need to put my head on straight. That was, we were trying to find forests to compare, and that's a little bit crazy on my part. Sorry about that. But one thing that I noticed is when my daughter was doing her thing, she got up in this area, and let me cough 1 second. Sorry about that. Now, you would possibly assume all this is desert, that this would be desert, but look, right here next to the river is forest. So we can actually check this one, and alright, so this one is with, I think this looks like a lot of water. This one is probably the one with, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, actually 14 water. Now, sorry, I got so many things running here. My daughter and my brother and I all use the same computer, plus I have a laptop that I use, so we've got things running. My friend's account is on here that she plays sometimes. I don't think I'm going to be able to get her to really play. But anyway, that's not important to what we're doing. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 water on this map. Now, if you think about when you go to start that, and not only that, we've got all these ponds that we can sell, plus we are right by a river. And so you can see how starting in this position right here would be much easier than starting in some other spot. You know, you're talking about well, potentially we could sell 14 ponds if we wanted to, and like with your water facility, you could just, you know, put it by existing marshes, or just, if you remove that, put it right there, then your water facility guy could water it. But anyway, so potentially you could sell 14 ponds to get your starter money. You start with 25K, then that would be, let's see, what is 14 times 5 is going to be 70K, I believe. Somebody check my math on that. But so the 70 plus the 25, so you're talking 95K. That is enough to go ahead. You don't even have to make any sales, and you would be able to go ahead and do the things. Watch my quick start video if you want to know about that. Okay, so what we're looking at is there is a correlation between the spot that you get on the map and this spot, and you can do it one of two ways. You can say, okay, this is the spot that I want to get when I want to build this spot for my map, okay? Or you can say, this is the spot that I got, and so let me pop over and do some quick visualizing. So what I could do is, if I wanted to remove ponds, if I wanted to see what is it like, first of all, before I remove them, let me show you. If you click on water here, you can see the water in different spots. That tells you it's 6 water. I'm just hovering over these, okay? And so you could do that if you're like, well, should I put a tree there? Oh, yeah, no, there's only 5 water. Okay, but what you can also do is that turns on if it's dark blue, that's a river, that's an ocean, and that is a mountain. Okay, so we had a river over here, and let's pretend we had a mountain right here, and let's pretend that we have an ocean right here, just so that we can see some effects. Okay, so if you go to shady, it shows you the shade that each spot is getting. And I don't know, let's see, has it got pollution? Water, shady, energy, dirty is pollution, okay? So you can see this little guy has a reach of 3 in each direction. Okay, so but we already knew that. But I'm just saying, if you we're, building this out and you turn that on, you might want to turn on shady if you're trying to do crops and say, okay, well, maybe I'm going to pick this spot. Well, I can say, okay, that's the spot I want. And I'm sorry, I've got something going with a dry throat today, okay, and I had one yesterday, so it shouldn't be that surprising. Okay, so we shady, and then we could do dirty, and it's like, okay, that's not affected by dirty, it's not affected by shady. Is it affected by salty? And just go through and see everything that might affect something. Now the crude oil, that's going to show up when you have your oil seep. That will, and it's just going to show that it goes from 4 down to 1 with that. And then you could do no thing if you don't want to see the effects of anything. But if we do water, you can see that the river gives water, the ocean does not give water. However, if you wanted to plant salt, you would have an effect of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 water. And these also give water. So in this case, if we didn't remove any of that, but we were talking about removing ponds to have starting money. But so what you could do is you could plan it out. You could say, okay, I want a quick start. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come in and I'm going to, let's go back here, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these ponds, okay? And also, so I want to sell those, get some money for starting, and it doesn't show you anything to do with the money, okay? So that you kind of have to mentally keep up with that. And then if we're doing that, what are the, let me get rid of that. What are the first things that we do? Well, we need a wind turbine to make energy, because we need energy and water drums to make we need energy and water drums to make lumber. Sorry, I'm trying to, I'm thinking ahead a little bit and it's messing me up. Okay, so what if I said, let's put that wind turbine right there, and is that good? Well, if you, as far as it goes right now, that's good. But what if we check dirty? Well, dirty doesn't affect the wind turbine. What if we check the shade? Well, shade would affect a wind turbine. It would block it, and sure enough, it's in shade and it blocks it. So you can see down here that if we do it, it's going to run on this three. You got fastest to slowest, and it's going to be on the second to the slowest. Okay, it shows right here 2 shade. So you might be like, wow, I wasn't even thinking about the mountain when I put it there. So let's not put it there. So if I've got this selected, the wind turbine selected, so if I click it again, boom, it's gone. Okay, so now that I've got my shade up while I do it, and I look around, I can be like, oh, well, look at that spot. doesn't appear to have any kind of shade or anything. Let's try that spot. And look, it'll run green right there. I don't, and it's convenient for everybody, for my worker to get to. It's going to be convenient. So I like that spot. That's where I'm going to put that. Now, what about my water facility? Okay, here's that. So where am I going to put that? Well, first of all, also, if I had my warehouse, if I had already decided that I want to put, if I did it first and put it there, then look, it shades my wind turbine. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. If I put it there, it'll be all right. Now, if I put my water facility over here, okay, so if I put my water facility over here, I know that it needs 3 water and it's showing 0 out of 3. So what if I go down here and I'm like, I don't, shade doesn't affect it. I don't know if dirty actually affects the water facility or not, but I know that water is important to it, right? So if I do it this way, and I know I need to be by a road, what I could do is if I look over here, I can say that spot gets 3 water, and now that I put my thing there, it gets 2 shade. So what I could do is just take and remove this wheat patch, and then this wheat patch don't even get enough water, so remove it, and let's put the water facility right here so that it gets what it needs. And sure enough, it is showing that it gets 3 water right there, and it's by a road, so it's not a problem. What if I decided to put my water facility here? If you notice, it's got a problem, and let me see, I don't think it tells me what the problem is, but if you look up a water facility, let's see if we hover over here, then you know that it needs a road. Okay, so if we put a road there, then now it's okay, right? So that can be helpful to make sure that, especially if you're building up your gas production area, and it's easy when you're dealing with several power plants and refineries. It's easy to forget your road when you're actually trying to plan it out. So this keeps you legit and keeps you from dealing with that. And if we turn on the shade meter for here, you can see we can plant some wheat here without having any issue. Okay, so we could move it to there if we want to continue to grow wheat. We can have our water facility here. So now we've got that, The only thing missing now to gather that stuff would be our worker. Okay, so we can go to here, build a worker house. 1, 2, it's not shading that. So depending on what you're working on, like if you're placing buildings, you might want to turn the shade meter on. if you're placing crops, if you're placing crops, you might want to turn the shade meter on. You might also want to filter through some of these and just make sure that you haven't forgotten any of them. And that way you can, I'm sorry, I don't know why this doesn't show all at once. I think this monitor or the settings I have on it are not the best, but so that's kind of what you do. So you can also think about, okay, eventually I'm going to want to remove this tree, and it's going to cost da-da-da. That kind of thing can, if you do this as you go, if you decide, okay, I want to build my gas production over here, or, right in this area, whatever, you can pick it out. You can see how many trees or whatever in the way. You might be like, well, this whole area is going to be industrial anyway, and this is the most clear spot that I have, so how can I configure it into this area right here? And let's see, so we got all that. Then the other thing that we would end up needing to do would be put our lumber mill. Now, it would be a lot harder, let's go here. It would be a lot harder for them to do, here it is, if they did it this way. But what would be really good is if you could set the amount of money to start. Like you could say, okay, I'm starting with $25,000, and then whenever you sell a pond or whatever, it adds to, and then whenever you purchase something, it takes away from. Now, the thing that we didn't consider, and some of this stuff you can use it, you can do whatever, and it's all good and great, but really what isn't going to help me much is the fact that it's not going to to me this is more of a mapping tool, and so if I say that I want to add another road, and I want to that way we could be 1, 2 away, and maybe put a lumberjack here. Well, the thing of it is, when you're doing it this way, how am I going to remember that, okay, I start with 9 wood, okay, I built, this took 1 wood, this took 1 wood, this took 3 wood, so that's 5, and then this took, and this took 1, so that's 6, and then this took 5, so that's 11 wood, so I'm in a 2 wood deficit. So I have to have a lumberjack, and that does have real costs associated with it. Okay. Now, by practicing and going to the monthly server or even the weekly server and just creating a town, seeing how this flows and making mistakes, then I can see what works and what doesn't work. I can see, oh, I ran out of money before I could actually get everything built. And that's why I have adopted the way I do it, where I create a lumber mill. I use it to make the wood, and if you've watched any of my starter videos, you've probably seen this. Use it to make the wood, and then I delete it. I meant the lumber, excuse me. The lumberjack gets the wood. The lumber mill makes the lumber. Okay, so I do it that way because in the beginning I need it to be close up here to this warehouse. Now I could, if I had like an oil seep down here, and that's what I do in the desert usually, is I'll create a warehouse, the lumber mill down here and the warehouse down here, and then it's not necessary to delete it, as far as if I make it up here and I actually decide that I want my gas production, so I've got, power plants over here and water pumps, and so I need it over here. I made it here. It's, to me, in the beginning of the game, it's a lot of money to do that, but the net cost is only like about $12,000, so it really doesn't hurt. But when we're mapping it out like this, you still need to keep up with a tally of your money. So starting out build, I would not necessarily recommend this. Now, if you're using this for a strategy where you're like, okay, when I get my build, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, this is my mountain, so I'm going to have a paved road all the way down. And then I'm going to have, and say I want to start with a power plant down here. Well, because this is an ocean, I can actually just hook my water pump. I can just hook my water pump right straight into the ocean there. Okay, so this will keep me from having to get a pond on this one. And then I can put, my power plant. This is the power plant. I had to look at those carefully for a second. The refineries, that's one thing I don't love, is they made the refineries and the power plants look so similar that if you're trying to turn the power plant off so that you don't make energy, I have before turned off my refinery by mistake because I wasn't paying close attention to what I was doing. But anyway, so if you do it this way, you can, if you want to remove anything, you can just go around and remove things. If you want to, if you don't want to take the time to remove it, you can just replace things, like say that I wanted to put a freight pier. Well, that wasn't a good example. And I wanted it right there. See, I don't have to remove that tree. I just can build over top of it, more or less. But just know that when you do replace things, and another thing, it would be nice if it told you, it tells you, you notice that this spot's getting 3 dirty from that, and 3 shade from, it's getting 2 from that one, and I guess 1 from that. Oh, maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But let's see what it's getting shade from, if we can tell. I don't believe that these, oh, it's getting 1 from this builder house. 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, these don't give shade, and neither do oil pumps, but they do give pollution. So this is getting 3 pollution from here. It's getting 2 shade from here and 1 shade from there. Anyway, the good thing is you don't really have to figure it out. You can just hover over, even if it's not showing anything. I can just hover over this spot. It tells me this spot gets 1 water, 3 shade, and 1 dirty. And it's getting the dirty from that. Okay, so that part of it can be helpful when you're first learning to play the game. You don't always see, like, and honestly, sometimes I still will put something, like put this building here and my crop might have been here, and then shade it and then be like, wow, stop, don't do that. But you'll kind of get accustomed to that, and it's like with something like wheat, I'm not that concerned because I can move wheat easily. But with like my grapes, especially when you're starting out, I watch it. I'm like, okay, is this going to shade? Let me look all the way around. But anyway, so you can do this. Then you could say, okay, let me put mines down. I'm going to have mines all the way down the road. And then you could be like, okay, so where's my gas production going to be? So let's go ahead first, though. Okay, so let's go ahead first and get the energy for these. You notice this one's only getting 2 energy. Well, then I can say for a power plant, I just need 1 more energy here. So if I put a power plant here, I think that will give me the energy that I need. So let's put a power plant there. I didn't mean to put that mine. So let's put a power plant, and it's saying that it needs something. So, well, it's got a paved road, so it must be a water pump. So let me put a water pump. Oh, the water pump needs something. Oh, and I know that water pumps need ponds, so I have to put a pond there. Now that's copacetic. And then let me see if I was right. I was predicting that putting a power plant here would give 1 more energy to this spot. And lo and behold, now that's got 3 energy. And I know that mines need 3 energy. Okay, that one's got 4. This one's got 3. And this one only has 2. So in order to give this one 1 more energy, I have to do what I did down here. This one had 1, so 1, 2, up from it, I built 1. Now this one has 2, so 1, 2, up from it. So right here, I need to actually put a water pump. But now that I had the exercise about my things that I need, might as well go ahead and build it all out, right? So here's that. So you notice now that between these two, I got 2 spaces. So I can plan for, especially since this one has no trees, that I can say, well, let me go ahead and plan for my road to be right here. So I don't have any, I don't know how far out I'm going to make it, but I can change that. I'll just make it to there for right now. And then what else do we want to see? This one, that one only gets 2. Let me see. That one gets 3. This one gets 2. So we said, what did we say? It'd be 1, 2, up. Okay, so this one gets 2. Let's make sure. This one only gets 2. Alright. So our lowest one on this list that gets 2 is this one. So we're going to go 1, 2, and this is where, and right now we're at paved road. I'm just going to mark our spot there. And go here, go to here, put a pond right here, and put a water pump next, and then a power plant. And then when we look at this, now that one's got 3 energy. This one right here only has 2. So then we want to go let's make sure that basically you want to be sure that all of yours have at least 3 energy, right? So so they do. So we're doing the 1, 2 over. Okay, so this one has 3, this one has 2, so 1, 2 over. Alright, so we want a power plant there, and then we can go back and see where, I'm not sure where we were, but if you see these, and hopefully y'all can see the little box that's popping up next to my cursor. Okay, so this one only has 2, so we're going to go 1, 2 over, and this is going to be my spot for my power plant. And so then that gets 3, that gets 4, that gets 3, and that only gets 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2 over, and let's put it there and see what happens. Now we've got them in place, but look, that one only gets 2, and that one gets 3 though. So what if we how would this one have to get 2? We need 1, 2, and we need 1 here. So what I like to do is this. This is where the modeling for this is actually going to come into place. And let's move this. Now, I don't know why that is circled. Oops. There we go. Okay, so so now what if we remove this? And I'm just clicking. When I just click on these is all I'm doing. Okay, so now this one has 3, and this one has 4, this one has 3, and this one has 3. This one has 3. This one only has 2. Okay. So, what if I move this one up 1? So let's try that. Let's just get rid of these ones here. And let's move this business up 1 and see what happens. So I just was double clicking that. Okay, so now we've got 3 here, 4 there, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 2 here. All right, so what if we move, wait a minute, sorry guys, that's got 3, and this has 2. Okay, so it's not seeming to work out the way I'm doing it, right? So it's like we are, we keep running out. So let's try this where we have one every other spot, because we keep chasing our tail, we keep going back and forth. Okay, so now what we can do, we don't need a pond for that, is we can look at, and if you did not have an ocean, you just need a pond right here. Okay, so let's look now. We got 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And you know what? Having one too many is not a problem. But this seems to work out better. This is actually how I typically build mine. The only time I have 2 spots is just the one time. But you can still have like a road right here, which is also what I like to do, is have a road that reaches back to this, because these miners, and one thing you can learn, you just learn from observing the game, and so the miners have to run, and you're going to want some, at least 2 warehouses back here, okay, so that they can have access to these, because they're going to be running back and forth. They're going to run to get whatever warehouse has water drums in it, and then they're also going to be running to wherever you have your lumber mills. Typically, I like to, set up, figure out how it best works. Now, I've got a road here, so I can't really go this way at all, but I could put a power plant right here, and of course we'll have to get rid of that, and then make this a paved road, or that's probably, you could make a road here, but you're probably not going to want to do that. I would put it right here. That way, if I want to put another water pump for whatever reason, I could, and maybe put something else. But when I've got this power, the power can reach from here to here, and we got a road here, so it's irrelevant. So all three of these can be. Now, if you were making oak barrels, this spot right here would be a possible oak barrel spot, because if you notice, it doesn't get any water. Okay, so this scenario doesn't give you any water. If you needed this one to be a regular one, you'd have to put a water pump here in order for that to have water. But then you could put your lumber mills here, and then these would have to be roads right here in front, or actually doesn't have to, because this one has that road access, but most likely you're going to want a road that runs pretty much down to here. At least that's what I would end up doing. So, I don't know if this is really very helpful. If I'm not sure if I have explained it in a way that makes sense. I'm trying to, but I don't know exactly what. Basically, also, you're going to want to figure out, and you can, instead of having to double click all that, you can just click on the bomb and remove this stuff. But I'm not really used to using this. I'm not really that proficient with it, so I'm probably doing it in a slow and clunky way. The more you work with it, you'll be just flipping through this stuff and doing whatever. But another thing that you're going to have to consider is that you're going to need to put in your gas production. Now, if we do that, and let's find refineries. Here's the refineries. I was overlooking it. Okay, so what if I put a refinery right here? Well, this actually does pretty good. It's telling me that I've got 2 water drums, which would be these 2, and so this is ready to go. You can make gas with that. Then you could put a it depends on how you think about things. You could put a fuel storage right behind it, and make it face the, that it gives you a little button at the bottom to rotate these things. You can make it rotate so that the door faces that way, so you can do that. And then over here, let me see, 3, 2, you could actually put another refinery over here somewhere. You could do it here, so that it has the paved road, or you could do it back here and make a paved road in between. You could put something else here. If you were making a steel mill town, you might rather have a steel mill there. You might rather have it here and have your refinery there. I don't know. It depends on how you want to lay things out. So, but you're going to want, this one would be great for gas, and that's why I always put my fuel storage across from the gas producing refinery. But if you think it works better to put it across from the one that's not producing gas, well, you know what? Here's what you could do. Here's another way that you could do it. All right. If I took and put, where did that go? Put that here, put a refinery there, and that one there, and then put my road here, and put my, and that's why I'm mapping this stuff out. This would have to be a paved road, excuse me. That's why I'm mapping this out, is such a good idea. Alright, I don't know why it's got a red circle around that. Maybe because I need to click away. I'm not understanding that red circle there, because there is no rule. I mean, you'd have to start with a dirt road maybe and then upgrade it to a paved road, but there's no rule preventing that. But anyway, if you do it this way, this could be producing the petroleum, this could be producing the gasoline, and then this could be holding the crude oil, the gasoline, and if you do it on a desert, you've got an oil seep and you don't need the oil pumps, right? So this is it. If there's something, if you want me to remake this, kind of let me know exactly what it is that you want me to show. But basically what I'm doing here is just showing you how to use the tool. There are a million different maps that you could make with it. Now, I don't have anything really drawn out to map out for you, and I might be, this is bothering me that it's acting like we got a problem. Let me try this. Alright, now let's put the fuel thing back. Maybe it, there is a rule about you can't just put a paved road like right here. I wouldn't be able to just put a paved road right here without first putting a dirt road. Then I could upgrade it. And maybe that's kind of what we're experiencing here, and this is kind of a bug. But, I tried putting the dirt road first and then putting the paved road, and it's still coming up like it's an error. This is a legal thing. So this tool may not be perfect, but it is super great. There's a lot to be, let's see, when we do dirty. Wow. That's, what did I, I put this here for the lumber mills. So like I say, there's a whole lot that you can build, and that's very helpful. You can look at that and say, you know what, I'm not even going to think about putting any of my crops or livestock over here. It's definitely, this side is going to be my industrial side, and this side is going to be my my other side. You can play around with, this over here. Like, there's a thing where I like to do that, and then it's like all of these three get 7 water, and then I can put, like, if I put one here and I'm like, okay, well, oh wait, that gets 8 and I only need 7, so let me move that over 1, and so now I can see that gets 7. If I come here, oh, look at that, those get 7. Then I come here, oh, that's only getting 5. In order to get 7, I need 2 more. 2 more water. Okay, so then you can see that these get 7 now. That only gets 5 now. So I can keep going. Put another one. Now these 2 get 7. And I might be like, well, okay, if I plant trees all up in this area, then I'm probably going to want a road, and I can just put a road up through here and say, oh, well, that road, I can have it go all the way from the front to the back, and eventually that probably want it to be a paved road. I see what it is. What it's doing with this circle around that is, if you got one paved road piece off all by itself, it's got a circle around it, and the minute you put another one, it doesn't. Well, that circle is just a cautionary thing in this case, I think, because it's like I say, you can't just build a single piece of paved road, but you can put the dirt road and then upgrade it. So just realize that that's all that means. But see, then I can say, okay, well, I've got this tree area. I can make it go from the river all the way up, and if I wanted to, I could also make this side be a tree area, and then over here, I could have some. If I'm making blue steel, maybe have a sheep pen and a little bit of cotton. But you got to remember, at some point, you're also going to need to have your workers. You're going to need loggers, and you're going to need, for if in the case of blue steel, you're going to need sheep. You're going to need farmers for your wheat. You're going to need farmers for the cotton. You're going to need, and then if you're, making a winery, for a winery, you're probably not going to want to have all these mines. So that will give you, more space to put some vineyards and glass factories. And just remember, you're going to need to have regular lumber mills running to feed the mines lumber, and you're going to need to have a couple running to give you oak barrels for making wine. And anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent again. As far as this tool goes, this is pretty easy. I'm just clicking to change from mountain, nothing, river, ocean. Okay, so you can once you pick your spot, you can set it the sides up to be whatever you want them to be. So like I said, on this you can change up and pick whichever map that you got. And up here you've got all the little different things, and like I say, you can click on this, you can play with these. Okay, the fountain, let's put it there, let's see how much water. And it's like, okay, well, it gives let's get rid of some of this other business so that you can see more clearly what it gives. And that's the thing, you can clear out as much of this or as little of this as you want. Okay, so now you can kind of see it gives 2 water and then 1 water to the 3 around it. Alright, so what if the next up would be the good fountain, and these are NFTs. Okay, on this tab, blockchain tab, these are all NFTs. Okay, so this gives 3 water all the way around it, and then 2, and then 1 on all sides, and then the corner of beside the 2, you've got a 1. That should be 1, right? And so the Grape Fountain is next, and okay. Alright, so the Grape Fountain is next, and it gives 4, let's go this way, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a Grape Fountain right there. I'm impressed with that. But these cost money unless somebody gives you one or whatever. But you can see, if you're curious to see, let's see what this one. This is a majestic fountain, and the majestic one, maybe they don't really have any. I don't know what that means, but with the Grape Fountain, you can see it gives 4, and so they've gone from 2, 3, 4. So most likely the majestic fountain gives 5, 4, 3, 2. It's just like a river. So you can see that's a pretty powerful NFT. But if you look at the prices of those, like if you go to OpenSea.io, you can see prices on some of this stuff, and quite honestly, some of the prices get up to, I don't know, I want to say in the thousands of dollars, like maybe $3,000. If you got a boatload of money that you don't have anything to do with, definitely go buy some. That would be awesome to have. That's an ancient. Let me find a wheat stand. I actually own a wheat stand. That says Bit True Wheat. I don't own a Bit True Wheat, but I'm sure it's the same thing. Okay, so let's put a wheat stand here. And they need a road. Let's put the road up there because I want to show from the bottom. Okay, so on a wheat stand, you can come over here and show wheat. And I'm just showing you how to play with this to tell what do things do, because some of this stuff, the way they describe the items, it's like, what does that do? I don't understand. But so I'm trying to show you how you would know what does it do. Okay, so this gives 2 wheat to all of these orange spots. Now, you got a road here, so really you can't count that one. But if you look at it, you've got 7 spots that get 2 wheat, and then you've got 3, 6, 9, 12 spots that get 1 wheat. Okay, so you're like, what good does that do? Here's what you can do is if you put a grinder, a mill grinder or feed grinder, feed mill, I don't know what they're called. Let me find it. They are called feed mills. Okay. So if I put feed mills in all these spots right here, this is 3, 7, 11, 11, 16, 19 spots. This one little thing, but you know, these, if you buy these, they're expensive. If somebody gives it to you, then they're rich. Okay, so if you go and buy a wheat, thing here, I forget what was it called. These, it calls it Bit True Wheat, but I think it's called a wheat stand, honestly. And you put all these around. Then every time a rancher goes over and picks the feed from this mill, this wheat stand will put another wheat into it. And if you've ever noticed when you're making feed, then when you're making feed, it only takes, I don't know, I want to say 5 seconds or something like that. It's a very short amount of time. So by the time the rancher picks it, and could possibly even just, if you had like, oh wait a minute, go back. If you had like a trough here, and a trough here, and a trough here, and a trough here, and then you had, say, 20 ranchers, they would be working this stuff. And so if you had livestock around, if you put it over next to here, and then you had some sheep or cows or chickens or both or all of it, and you had enough ranchers to keep that manned, you could really potentially create a lot of produce from that, or a lot of dairy type items. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think these are very useful. But that is a very powerful thing if that's what you're aiming to do. The cotton thing, I would say that if you have one of those, you would maybe be able to use those for your cotton, your fabric plants to, like if you had one of those and then you put fabric plants around it, then it would start with, let me see how much cotton those get. And this is, that's just called a Digifinex cotton. And so it gives 2 cotton and 1, it does the same as the wheat except with cotton. So if you wanted to put your fabric plants around it, then they would start with, the ones closest to it would start with 2 cotton, and then the other ones would start with 1. Now, I don't have one of these, and I don't know, I wouldn't mind having one to play with it and figure it out, but to me it's more important to have my fabric plants near my power plant so that I don't have to have energy creating. I like to have things that need energy to get it passively. So that's my priority with fabric plants, is to do that. This is a elf bot. I don't know what elf bots do. And that's something you can play around with and figure this stuff out. I don't know if an elf bot even does anything, okay, because I'm not really, if you know, comment below. But some of this stuff I like to try to figure it out, just because I don't want to be left out as far as knowledge goes, and I try to keep everybody as up to date as I am with what knowledge. Let's see if we put a sugar cane. Okay. I don't have sugar turned on, but I've got energy on showing, but it is telling me that these, this is a rare. So rare, I'm sure the cotton and the wheat would work the same. The rare gives 3, 2, and 1. And that would be, now that would be handy if you have if you're making like a cakery or whatnot, anything where you need windmills that create sugar and that need sugar cane, then you would be able to put one of these and put your windmills around it. Just keep in mind, with these grinders, we just throw them all out there and we say, oh, 19 of them, woo, that's a lot. Well, with your windmills, what you would have to do is you put them, and then if you put a road by them, then really these ones with two are not going to exist, and so you'd have the 3 and the 1 if you put a road in between. But you could like pick and choose and say, well, okay, if I put a piece of road here, then that takes care of these two, and put a piece of road here, that takes care of these two and this one. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you an example in case that didn't make sense. Like if I would say, okay, let me put a piece of road here. Well, then I could have a windmill here and here. And if I put a piece of road here, then I could have a windmill here and here and here. And what might be easier, and this might be where it comes in good to have this, is what if I went and I put in a windmill everywhere that I can put one, and then let's see, we said this gives 3, 2, 1, correct? This one. Anyway, I don't want to do all this for a long time, but you can see now which ones need a road. So then I could say, well, let me go ahead and put a road on all these corners. I can just put a road across here and a road across here, and or those didn't even need it. Okay, but you know, anyway, you kind of get the idea. And then I can say, oh well, these two right here don't have a road, so maybe I'd rather put a piece of road here, and then I wouldn't need these on the ends, and just put my windmill here. So anyway, I think this is probably getting boring. I'm getting a little bored with it myself. So then you could put more roads to do like that. So anyway, that's kind of how you could do this a little bit. I don't know if it's terribly helpful or not. If there's something in particular that I left out that you still don't understand about this tool, let me know in the comments and I can make another video. This one is kind of just impromptu. I don't use this. I haven't really used it today. Making this video is the most that I have looked at it, but I have come out here before and, like I say, try to look at these things and try and see what is it that these NFTs are good for. And you know, it's good to keep an eye on that. If they add new NFTs in the future, then you're probably going to want to know about them. At least I like to know about everything in the game that I can know about, that's not beyond my comprehension. So anyway, this is it. I hope this was helpful and informative. If it was, like, share, and subscribe. If there's something else you want me to make a video about, leave me a comment. I've gotten a lot of great feedback and I appreciate you guys. And have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.